Let's catch people up on what happened with Jenna because she came on the other week and she wanted to talk about her and her girlfriends who all purportedly are having a very difficult time with
I bet
dudes,
they are.
and they're all perfect. They do Pilates, they're hot. We heard the update and all that. So at the end of the show, I invited her to bring her friends on and chop it up and see what we could do to be useful. And she also went on your show on stereo afterwards, and you're on every night after this, so you guys know where to find Moth, but we'll mention it again towards the end. So what happened on the show? Because she emailed me and said that they are not willing to come on.
So it's funny because we actually spoke a couple of times last week. So we did three different conversations. We had the one right after the show. We had one on Tuesday with a couple of girls that I know from Stereo and Renegade Wingman. And then she and I did just a solo partner show on Thursday, I think, which was a nightmare. But anybody can go back and listen to those. So, I think part of it is you can really let stuff fly on Stereo. There's not a lot of censorship. There's not a lot of, you can really kind of go at it. That's a lesser known platform. So, and I tend to grill people a little more. And I think, a little less patience than you do when it comes to, and you've done this a lot, obviously a lot more than I have and for a lot longer. But if you even go back to, I think it was a couple Mondays ago when we had a couple women call in, Anastasia. And if you go back and watch the clips when I'm asking her questions and it's giving me really roundabout answers, you can see how annoyed I am. And it was a carbon copy of that with Jenna. I mean, look, the talking points are the same. There's a lot of roundabout answers. It's a lot of, talking about very small, specific examples and having the exceptions be the rule. So, yeah, I don't think that her friends would be able to handle it. I don't think that they're as good looking or as valuable as she says or thinks they are.
Yeah, so that's something that I thought about afterwards. She was basically saying something along the lines of her girlfriends were only finding nerds, dorks, incompetent men, guys that have never read a book before, right? There's no comment on whether or not they were fit or not, but we know that women only date up, like they don't date down. So if they're dealing with what we called losers at the time, then that means that they're basically threes.
Yeah,
Am
I
I wrong?
mean, it's funny because this is something I was thinking about as well, is the idea of, people only ever talk about MGTOWs
Mm-hmm.
and men that are now. I tend to think MGTOWs are men sent their own way because essentially when a guy goes MGTOW, it's because he's not gotten the results he wants from the women he actually wants. So he's essentially said, okay, well, I'm never going to get the one. It's not that he doesn't want those women anymore. He just made a conscious decision to stop playing the game. Fine, but let's call it what it is. If you could, you would. Now, those guys get branded as incels and losers and black pill and this and that, but you've got women that are sent their own way as well. So women that
I
want
don't
the
think they've been sent their own way though,
right.
which is interesting.
And that was one of her main points. It was, well, a lot of girls that I know are perfectly fine staying at home with their dogs and their boxed wine and their Netflix because they'd rather do that than date losers. It's like, well, it doesn't mean they're happy, right? She kept saying things like, "Oh, women are happy to do that now." Like, no, they're not. They just see that as a better alternative for now. I mean,
Well,
let's
if
see
well, if
what
all
happens.
these women are so happy, then why are women prescribed antidepressants at a rate 5 times higher than men over the age of 40?
Or why are they just so mad? Why are you mad about the dating pool being scarce if you're happier by yourself?
Right.
So, I mean, you wouldn't be complaining and bitching about the lack of available men and lack of good men if you really were stoked to be at home with your dog and your boxed wine.
Right.
But mainstream media, in the gynocentric social order that we live in, say, good for you. You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need any man. When in reality, they want that man who doesn't want them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, nothing new. You've seen any kind of conversation with a woman on these kind of platforms. You've seen them all. The most frustrating thing was, somebody coming in and saying 2 + 2 = 5. Okay, do we all agree? Okay, great. Now that we all agree, let's move on to this. And I have to say, no. 2 + 2 = 4, not 5. And then she would throw a fit and say, oh, you bring that up all the time, or you always say that. We know when women are complaining about men not stepping up, or men being players, and men banging around onto other women. And again, we know that only the top 20% of men are doing that because they can, but we also know that most men are invisible to women. So I had to constantly step in and correct her and say, look, you're not talking about the majority of men. You're talking about the minority of men. And that would piss her off and frustrate her and say, oh, you bring that up every time. It's like, yes, because I'm not going to let you make an argument when the premise is 2 + 2 = 5. It's just not how these things work. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys.
God.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey.
This is going to go viral now.
No, I'm not here to argue. I just wanted to say I think everybody should just kind of listen to the conversations that we were having. I think everyone will I think what you're saying is an oversimplification. So for example, you said that I said that women are happy sitting at home, just drinking their boxed wine. And at one point in the conversation, I told you, women, if you have to accept that, if you in this lifetime are not going to find the partner that you want, you have to accept that you're going to have to deal with what comes with being an autonomous being, which is sometimes you're going to like being single, sometimes you're going to hate it, sometimes you're going to be sitting on your couch with that wine and wish that you had someone there. But if you find that the marketplace is not giving you what you want, you guys are already discussing going to other countries, then you're going to have to deal with what comes with not going with available options. So that is what I was saying.
Yeah, you didn't say that at all, though.
Yeah, I did.
You can go back and listen to any of the conversations, and you didn't say that. So this is the first time you're saying.
Yes, I did. I quite literally, at one point in the conversation, Moth said that you're going to have to deal with being an autonomous Moth. The other thing you're leaving out of this conversation is the last time Moth and I spoke, he got upset because he was basically being gangbanged by people in the audience sending in voice notes saying that what I'm saying, you know what's going on, and he stormed off, went into his own room, and then started having a conversation, an hour-long conversation about what we were discussing, and apparently he was heated. So
okay. So if you guys want to catch up on that drama, you're going to have to go to Stereo and check out the conversations for yourself. Jenna, why can't we get your girlfriends to come on the show? What are they afraid of?
So basically, they're afraid of...
Like, I'm not going to kiss their ass, but I'm a nice guy, right? Like, I'm not going to lie to them.
Richard, you know what? To be quite honest, I was expecting the same kind of conversation that I had with you. I was expecting that when I went over to Stereo to have the conversation with Moth. And at one point in the conversation, I asked him, I said, what is the point of this conversation? Because, and I said it multiple times, the alpha males that I grew up with, they don't do a lot of negotiating or discussing or debating with women. So I'm trying to figure out, if we're having this conversation, is this about a solution? What solution are we going to be having? And he said at one point, oh, this is just for entertainment value. So we're going to bicker for entertainment value? Is that what we're doing?
I wouldn't call it bickering. I would call it a discussion and a debate.
Well, what part of the solution confuses you, though, Jenna? Because, I mean... Like, I've talked about the same concepts over and over again. People ask, different questions, but they're all very similar to stuff that I've dealt with before, right? Like, there's probably only 10 or 15 real questions that keeps popping up. So I've already kind of dealt with the solutions for my audience as it stands. So what part of that is confusing, though, to you and the girls?
Okay, so here's the other thing. It's about delivery. There's nothing that you say, Rich, that I don't really understand or disagree with. At one point, I flat out said, ladies, we're too fat. Like, a culture where the women are size 16 is unacceptable. It's unattractive. And you're not going to force men to find this attractive. And you also know that it's unattractive because half of you, if not all of you, are having sex with the lights off. So stop it. But when we have this conversation,
I haven't had sex with the lights off my entire life. The lights are always on.
You see what I mean?
When I go to work, the lights are on.
Right. But you see what happens when you take care of yourself? You tend to have a little more pride in yourself. And also you tend to have firmer boundaries. So
right. So when you're talking to the ladies and you say, ladies, you need to lose the weight, like, What do you mean? Like you're talking to the people, like the women watching my show? Are you talking about your girlfriends? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yes. So another thing, so about my girlfriends, like it's a mixed bag, right?
Mm.
And also, as you like, I wouldn't say that I have a massive group of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, and then I have a few friends. Within my friend group, I have a couple of women who are just drop dead gorgeous,
Mm.
and like literally just look like they should be on a runway
Well,
somewhere.
by
If I'm
your subjective
Yeah, I
standards,
doubt
but I
it.
No,
mean,
no, no. I'm like, guys, if we're all using the standard that, a non-pregnant Adriana Lima is hot, a Megan Fox is hot, that is the standard. I'm using Sports Illustrated as the standard, not this new
okay,
fat girl, whatever.
got it.
Um, but but I also have some girls in the group who are gelatinous. And I have tried to speak to them. I've tried, and I have these
Which
conversations.
which ones are complaining about dating the shitty men? The gelatinous ones or the Megan Fox ones?
Here's the funny thing. The gelatinous ones are actually having an easier time with men because most guys will stick their whatever in anything. So the hotter ones aren't even getting approached. So you so you'll see so,
So the
oh,
hot ones are saying that they're dealing with loser guys.
yes.
Hmm.
So even when they kind of lower their standard, for example, like one of them she makes over six figures. So and here's the other thing when
But-
people say this, right?
Okay.
Um to be natural beauty is a wonderful thing. And one of the things that I've said to the guys, I even said it in the conversation with Moth. If you want a lower cost of living and you want women who are naturally beautiful,
Mm.
usually you
Can I
find,
just can I just pause you there for a sec? I just want to
sure.
go back to something that you said because you opened with she makes six figures and then you
Mhm,
went on to beauty. But
mhm.
but what part of six figures is going to appeal to men?
Right. It has nothing, it doesn't appeal to you guys at all. The point I was trying to make about
Mm.
beauty is that um, women who tend to make a lot of money tend to spend money on beauty in a different way than women who don't really have a lot of money, right?
Mm.
So we tend to gauge it by, listen, I go and I get my nails manicured every 2 weeks. I get facials every 2 weeks, plus gym membership, laser hair removal, waxing, that's how we pile up our value when it comes to dating. We go,
Mm.
what is it costing me to be beautiful? And what is it costing me to put effort into myself? And why wouldn't I want a person who does the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. So,
How old are these Megan Fox Sports Illustrated girls?
they're all on the younger side. So they're all 20. One is, ooh, I don't remember her age. I think she's like 25, 26. Another one is 31.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I
Probably
don't
younger.
remember.
Uh, I'm thinking there's something missing here, Jenna.
Hmm.
There's something missing because if you're describing a 25-year-old hot girl,
Hmm.
what's the problem? There's
No,
lots of like, is this chick in Toronto?
yes.
Yeah, there's lots of like tall, fit, rich, funny, competent, captivating men in Toronto.
Yeah, but the same thing with being a hot woman. It's the same thing as being a hot man. It's almost a dime a dozen now. There's so many like to be a beautiful woman almost doesn't mean anything anymore because
Are
there's
they
so
are they reasonable women though? Like, are they fun to be around, or are they like yappy, annoying ones?
with the exception of one of them because I don't I don't hang out with her
Well,
that much because she's a buzzkill. The rest of them are actually kind of fun.
mm-hmm. Okay,
Hmm.
gotcha. Well, I would love to have that conversation. I mean, you know what blows me away? I've been
Hmm.
doing this show for, I don't know, like 45 episodes on this one, plus the 104 episodes on the Before the Train Wreck. I rarely get women that call in. I get women that watch the show, but I rarely get women that call in. And then you get other series shows like Kevin Samuels almost exclusively only talk to women.
That
Yeah,
was a rule. You
Yeah.
only let women call in.
Oh,
yeah,
well, if I made that a rule, the show would only be like 40 minutes long because I'd get no call-ins because women don't want to talk to me.
yeah. Well, I actually part of the last conversation that I had with Moff. So basically, what happened is, and again, if you listen to the conversations, even though I disagreed with things that he was saying, I never once personally attacked him. I
Mm.
never once kind of went for the jugular and implied that he was worthless or he didn't have the credentials to be speaking.
Hmm.
And Moff, you did do that. You did do that. You flat out said to me, "Did you even graduate from college?"
It's not what I said.
And
You
then,
can go back and
yes,
listen
you
to the
did,
recording if you want, Jenna. I asked you if you had a college
dude.
degree.
Oh, okay. So, and then semantics. That's his other thing. And then
Yeah,
the
but
other
there you
thing
go.
he
If
said,
you make stuff up, at least get it right.
Okay, so do you see the kind of
Here's the thing. No,
hostility?
here's the thing. Look, we had two conversations before that. You were on for me and Jaron for 2.5 hours on Monday after the show. Then we did another conversation the night after, and then you called me on Wednesday twice. You tried to get me to talk to you on stereo again, and I was busy. And then I gave you a third try where it was just about. So like, don't position this as if we had one conversation and I jumped down
I
your
never
throat.
said that.
This
I
was
think that
hours long.
I think that one of the problems that you're going to struggle with, Jenna, is that the angle that you generally come at talking about the sexes and relationships and the advice that you want to give men comes from your experience working on the phone. What do you do on the phone again? You're like a sex call in line or something like that?
Yeah, and
Phone
most of
sex
my,
line?
yeah, most
So like
of
all of these nerds are like calling you up because they want like the attention of a woman. You've got the sultry voice knocked out of the park, which is perfect for what you're doing. And then you listen to these guys like unload their shit on you,
Mhm.
probably, right? You know, talking about their shit lives or the wives that won't bang them or the girlfriend they can never get over. Am I right?
Yes, I do listen to that, of course, but
Yeah.
that's not the only place that I'm hearing it. And then also, I would really encourage everyone to listen to the conversation. I believe wholeheartedly that one of the big issues that I have with both genders is just a lack of decorum. I can disagree with a man and not rip his head off and tell him that he's worthless and a piece of shit or a worthless human being. I didn't feel that kind of respect when I was talking to Moff. When I was talking
Yeah, I
to
didn't say
the
any of
red
those words or anything of the sort. See, here's what you do.
guys, I need you guys to
Thinking
listen to
this.
the actual conversation where Moff
All right.
actually
Did I say
implies.
you're worthless? Did I say you're a piece
I
of
didn't
shit?
say that I didn't say that you said that. I said that you were implying that basically I'm uneducated, and then you also said, I said, well, I think at one point in conversation we were saying something, and I said, Moff, I wouldn't date you, and you go, yeah, you're too old for me anyway.
You
Like,
are.
what is this? Like, what are these little childish
What
digs?
do you want from me?
What do you
I
mean? What do I want from you?
All right. All
Basic.
right. All right. All right. All
You're
right.
the
what?
All
one
right.
that's supposed to be an alpha male, Moff. How is it that I can
Jenna, why are
talk
you
to
getting
you?
so emotional right now?
All
Relax.
right.
You're the one that's
Now we're
stirring
going for
off.
the ad hom attacks. Let's Jenna, cool your
All right.
jets. You know, Moff, thank you for filling in.
Why you gotta go and do this shit to me, man?
Dude, I saw her in like the green room, so I'm like, all right, I'll bring her in because she was listening. I figured, what the hell?
No. All right.
I think
Anyway.
she likes you, dude. Honestly,
No.
I think you guys make a cute couple.
Dude, never in a million years.
I'll dig up the picture that she sent and I'll send it over to you if you
All
want.
right.
Then we'll make the
You can
connection.
do that.
We'll
Jenna,
see.
I will say this publicly on this forum. I have no beef with Jenna. I don't think she and I are going to ever see eye to eye on things.
Yeah, you won't. Yeah.
If, again, we're coming from two different separate places. She wants to throw ad hominems out and attack my character and all that, and that's fine. She totally can. That's okay.
All right, no problem. I'm going to get to some of these call-ins, and let me catch up with the super chats. Thanks, Muff. Hey guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that short clip. If you did, consider supporting the creation of content by checking out my supplement line. Pinned in the top comment below of this video in the comments, there's a link to the unpluggedalpha.com/shop. When you click through, you'll be able to land over here, and the entire lineup is broken down by category that it performs best in: estrogen metabolism, fat burning, your foundational essentials for health, immune health, performance, and testosterone support. If you check out with coupon code ALPHA10, you'll get 10% off on your first order. There's also the option to use the subscribe and save model, where regular shipments will be sent over to you on a regular basis, and that gives you a little bit of a discount, and your supplement facts are always broken down over here. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And again, check out that link. It's pinned in the top comment below in this video. Peace out.